Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Nana Obasi. If you're new here, welcome. And if you've been here before, welcome back. So on my channel, I like to have real conversations about your career and your self-development. And if this is the type of content that you like, please do not forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, like, share, and comment. So today on my channel, I would be shining the light on someone like me and you who came to this country and has achieved so much more. And the reason for doing this is to motivate someone out there that you can be better, you can be what you want to be, so as long as you set your mind to it. And yeah, without further ado, I would be welcoming Mr. Charles. So, Mr. Charles, can you introduce yourself to us?
Hello, everyone. My name is Mr. Charles Onyekaba. I'm so happy to be here. And like Nena has said, if you enjoy content like this, I've been watching some of her videos, seeing her motivate people and all of that. So I decided to come here today. My name is Charles. Like I've mentioned earlier, I'm a business analyst and I've been working as a business analyst for close to 7 years. I don't know if Nena would like me to add more content to that.
Yeah, before you do, I just wanted you to give us a bit of backstory. Like, when did you immigrate? What were you doing before you started working as a business analyst?
All right, so I came here around the tail end of 2019 or so. And prior to me coming to the UK, I've been working as an architect. Yeah, I had
Mm.
my first and second degree from Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Eastern Nigeria, in Anambra State precisely. Yeah, I spent almost like half of my life before now, designing buildings, going to sites, listening to clients, understanding what their requirements are, what they want. And on top of that, I've been into the construction industry, helping them deliver their projects, building things like churches, hotels, renovations, and all of them. When I came to the UK, of course, that's what I wanted to do. Because I've been involved in it, I felt like I spent most of my life in the construction industry, design and doing 3Ds. I think I left architecture at the time where architecture was big on 3Ds, and visualization and all of that. So it was very difficult for me to break through. I wrote some letters to some of their bodies and all of that, but I think there was a gap they wanted me to fill, go back to school, and
Mm.
they didn't like valued our certifications coming from the Western world. Yeah, they wanted me to do some examinations and all of them, and the whole thing would take me like 3 4 years. So at that point, I told myself that I don't want to spend 3 4 years in school
Yeah.
again, especially given the circumstances and of which I finished my masters, and all of that. So I told myself maybe it's time to transition and try something else. Yeah.
So it's so funny because listening to it, no one would actually think that you would move from architecture to business analysis because just looking at it with the layman's eye, it looks unrealistic or impossible. So I just wanted to know, when was that moment? When was the moment that you knew that it's business analysis? This is the point that, okay, I want to be a business analyst and let me pursue that. Like, when was it? How did you know that that's what you wanted to
So
do?
so when I came in, yeah, like most people will do, you start, meeting your contacts, people are already settled, start talking with them. So I talked to one of my friends. I don't know whether it's good to mention his name, yeah, but I talked to somebody. We were in secondary school together, and he told me about IT industry booming and all of those things. And he felt like I could do well in project management because he felt like those are the things I do day to day, being an architect and being into construction. So I spoke with him, and along the line, while I was reading around project management, then I that was my first touch point with business analyst. So I started reading about business analysis, and I left the project management. One thing that drew me to business analysis was at that time there was, and still at this present time there was, the job vacancy. The ratio was like, I mean, for every one project manager job, there were like five business analysis jobs. So I was like, yeah, I needed to start, get my feet on the ground as soon as possible. So that was one thing that drew me to it. But apart from that, the next thing that drew me to it, that when I started reading some of the things I started reading, my first touch points, the books, and other, the programs, and there were lots of free sessions and programs and organized. Then almost all the things I was hearing about business analysis, it felt like there were things I was doing as an architect, but I didn't realize, like requirements engineering, going to client, going to people and answering them what they want a solution to do, wireframe, prototypes. I've already spoken about 3D visualization. I felt like in our world as architect back then, you need to do 3Ds, you need to,
Yeah.
like visualize it with a client so that they see, how the buildings will look like. So I think those things drew me closer to architecture. And on top of that, closer to business analyst. On top of that, one of the soft skills, that was highly mentioned about business analysis was creativity, analytical skills, and all of that. And I saw that myself, I was aligned, to those kind of skills. So I thought that I could do well in it, and those things were, they drew me to business analysis, and they got me interested in becoming a business analyst.
Yeah, I think what I've gotten from what you said is it's one thing to have an interest, and it's another thing to actually feed into that interest. Because
Pursue it, yeah,
if
yeah.
you didn't make more inquiries about what this is, and if you felt like you had the skills and stuff like that, you probably would have been on a different trajectory. So I think that's
Exactly.
just a point of note to anyone who is listening, that whatever you feel like you are interested in, like take that bold step, take the next step to like figure out how to go about achieving that thing that you feel interested in. All right, so like I'm also completely aware that aside um actively working as a business analyst, you also have a company. Can you tell us a bit about that?
East Edge was formed out of my whole experience about, the whole experience about becoming a business analyst. So, in as much as I was pursuing it, during COVID too, it was very hectic. You don't have the opportunity to, socialize, meet people, and all of that. So I was doing a lot of self reading, personal development. I was all over the place. The only good thing is that I had an interest. So my interest was specific. I knew what I was pursuing. But in terms of reading, I was reading everything, every material I had, and it kind of delayed my, transitioning into becoming a business analyst. At some point, I knew, like I needed a mentor, and I started looking for people, but I was getting bits and bits from, everywhere I went. I don't want to start calling names. So I went to this other place. They gave me theoretical experience. I went to this other place. I went to somebody, a friend in Canada. It was, not really a friend. I met him online, and, he was doing like BA training, and he was ready for me to support him and get, like an internship, get the knowledge I need. Yeah, I still felt like there were gaps here and there. After finishing the internship, understanding what BAs do, with my CV review and all of that, interview. So I felt like there were gaps. So at some point, in my career, after, like some years, I thought like, yeah, it's, I saw some young BAs, people who were looking to transition like the way I did back then. I felt like they were really struggling and all of that. And I was like, yeah, if I could help them, putting together all my experience and bringing like a comprehensive, strategy that would, pick, like that they can lean on, to, from day one when they want to transition, like a complete mentorship program, teach you the theory, enable you do the, hold your hands to give you the hands-on experience. When it's time for CV, tell you what is expected, tell you what is the industry best standard. When it's time for interview prep, tell you the kind of question you'll be expecting as per your JD and all of that. So all those things were things that motivated me, to form the company in East Edge, and that's that's how we are today. Yeah, that's how East Edge was bettered. Yeah.
Yeah, so like if you follow me, like if anyone is watching this and you watch like my previous videos, you'll notice that I dropped a video that says you can actually pursue your passion. Like coming abroad and feeling like you are stuck in a certain career path because people say that you are supposed to be there. That's just basically you limiting yourself. Like you can literally make money from your passion as long as you don't accept anything less for yourself. So like you are like a pure testimony of that. Like you had a go and you went for it. And honestly, like I'm also a testimony when it comes to like East Edge because I also benefited largely from East Edge. Like, a friend of mine introduced me to Charles. I think that was last year, 2021, or is
I
it
think it's
2022?
more than 2 years
It's
now.
2021. It's 2021. Yeah, 2021. A friend of mine introduced me to Charles when I was also like trying to take steps to break into that career path, and he literally, like, everything that he has said, he actually did it. He trained me. Like, he was so intentional, and even when I started to get interviews, I would call him. He would really help me out. So if I had presentations, like, he literally held my hands until I got the job. So that is also to tell you that you should actually watch the kind of people you keep around you as well.
I
If there
agree
are
with
people
you.
that would definitely, if there are people that will put you down, you need to watch it. Like, your friends are meant to lift you up and direct you to the right places to help you achieve greater heights in life. So yeah, that's really, really amazing. And anyone who is interested in this company, because I know I've gotten a lot of comments saying that what training institution did I go for, what company did I get my training from. If you're interested, I will be leaving the link to East
Link, yeah.
Edge website in the description, and I would also be leaving a link to a Google form so that you can fill it and someone will definitely respond to you.
And then I think you've kind of mentioned. I think 2 years ago, I remember when you came to us today.
Yeah,
Today, I think you are more confident, and
yeah,
this is your second role, right, as a business analyst. That's
yeah,
good.
yeah,
Yeah. And one thing I'll say again about East Edge is, so it's not just, it's like me, like I said, going back, looking at my frustrations, and you know, putting everything together to ensure that it's a comprehensive package. Like I said, it's a 3 months training. You come in and you come in, and the first lesson is what is business analysis. So from day one,
yeah,
we are taking you as if you've not heard anything about IT. Most people have this perception about business analysis being too technical. I mean, you need to have coding experience, data analysis experience before becoming a business analyst. Another misperception is that you must have a university degree. All of these things are not true. So it depends on, there are three things you need to become a business analyst. Like I always tell people, you need the soft skills, you need some BA skills, and you need some domain knowledge. Knowledge is like the list of all of them, because you won't get domain knowledge until you start working. But with the soft skills, that's what everybody had, or would have had before even thinking about transitioning. If you heard me earlier on when I was talking about my first touch points with business, and I was talking about creativity, being analytical. Those are skills I had back in my former profession as an architect, and I feel like those are skills people could easily have, like other things that even if you don't have that, some people can be people. If you have good communication skills, if you're somebody who can
yeah,
document very well, those things can stand up. Those are things that you can bring into the industry, into the field of business analysis. And when you come in from day one, to start building on those skills, making you present very well, owning your presentation, documenting very well, and on top of that, to start teaching you some BA skills and techniques, process mapping, and all of that. So these things are things we do within the first 6 weeks of the training. After the 6 weeks of the training, then there will be a real life project for you to work on. Some of our students have created a website. Some are creating, have created a learning management system and all of that. So this is going to be a real life project, which gives you an opportunity to feel, what the atmosphere or the environment the BA works in or thrives in every day. You start liaising with other BAs, project managers, who your sponsor is. It gives you a real life experience, and it's something that we can back up for you with a reference, to say that you did a 3 months training with 3 months training with us, or you did a 3 months work experience with us, and you delivered XYZ project. After that, the next stage will now be, okay, having had this experience, how do you go about with your CV? Would help you work with your CV, look at what, tell you what to do, put in some of those things you've done into, the business analysis buzzwords for you on your CV. Then you'll be able to start owning them, understand them, put it on your, be able to defend them when a recruiter calls you. Then when a recruiter calls you, will prep you to for interview. You'll be bold enough to start answering interview questions and all of that. The most fantastic thing about um, East Edge is, I think, Nina, you can testify about that. Is even after you've gotten the job,
Yeah. Yeah.
we're still there for you. We have a BA support group. We meet like every now and then. Mostly once in a week at the minimum. To discuss, where you can come in and discuss with peers. So it won't be just me again. You come in and you see everybody that's, we've trained, as a company. You see everybody, you see colleagues,
Yeah.
different senior business analysts, colleagues in all domains of life, and you can bring in your problem. People can sit down and share them with you and, profile solution where necessary.
Okay, so for me, there were two things that actually stood out. The first one is the fact that you can actually work on real life projects, and you have like you can put this on your CV, and then there's reference to back this up. And then the second one that actually stood out for me is the fact that you have support, like you have people that are like-minded, people of the same interest that you can continue to work hand in hand with, go to them with your problems. They can really help you in any way they could help you, like even after this program has been completed, which is something that we really need. It's not just that you're coming and you're going. No, if you
Yeah.
decide to stay, you have a community of people that will really support you when you actually get the job. So if it's something that you're interested in, like I've said, I would leave a link to their website on my description, and I would also leave a link to the Google form so that you can fill it and someone will get back to you. And I also wanted to ask you, Mr. Charles, what advice would you give someone who is trying to break in to business analysis or even any career path generally? Like, what advice would you give to them to
I
keep
think
them
it's
going?
For me, I think it's consistency. That's the most important thing. Consistency, hard work. It's not even easy for you to, something that it's not easy for you to keep doing it. Not to talk about
Mm,
something that you've not done before. So it's about consistency and hard work. If you put in the hard work, there will always be returns. And in terms of returns, it might not be, different people, for different people it might be different, a different time for harvesting, you understand? So let me put it that way. But it depends on if you keep doing what you do, like I've trained a lot of people, and I think then even in your cohort there were people who got the
yeah,
job right 1 month after the training. I think you are somebody like you, even before you finish the training you were
yeah,
interviewing. Some people will stay
yeah,
2 3 years. So it depends on consistency, hard work, and confidence. Confidence won't come over time. It depends on when you keep doing the things you want to do. I've also seen
yeah,
people who say I want to do this and they're not putting in the hard work, and it makes their journey, longer than expected. So if you put in
yeah.
consistency, hard work, I feel like you'll be there. Yeah.
Yeah. This just reminds me of something that someone said to me this week. I think it was yesterday, and the person said that the worst thing that can happen to you is not failure. The worst thing that can happen is if you are not consistent, because it just means that you remain stuck where you are and you're not making any progress. So don't give up. Just keep on maintaining the energy and keep fighting and pushing for what you truly want to do, because eventually you just need one breakthrough, just one breakthrough. In the midst of all the no's, you need just one yes. So just keep up
And
the
that's what
fight
happens
and
with interview too. When you start
yeah,
when you start sending the application, there will be lots of no's, but one yes paves the way for you.
one
Once you get that first yes, put in your time, working your do your first role. After then, it
mhm,
becomes like growth for you.
easy.
Yeah, yeah,
So, well, thank you, Mr. Charles. This was really insightful. Definitely, I'm sure
yeah.
someone would really
I've
get one or
enjoyed
two things.
I've enjoyed speaking with you, Nena. Yeah, if I know
Yeah.
people's concerns will be different, there might be people who would say, "Okay, can I speak with Mr. Charles before I make this decision?" If you have any of those people, so just let me know. I'm ready to speak with as many
Okay.
people as I can too. Yeah,
So, if anyone is interested in speaking to Mr. Charles, just leave me an email and I will send you his number. I don't want to put his number on the public platform, but I'll put my email address in the description. So, once you send me an email, I'll send you his number so you can call him, and yeah, then you guys take it up from there.
yeah. But
All
most
right
of the
then.
questions that people will normally answer, would answer them on 28th of this month. So on 28th
Okay.
we'll have a free tester session. It's a Saturday, 12. noon. So if you can log in, that's why we said fill that form, interest form. When you fill the interest form, you come in, you don't have to pay anything. You come in and we'll have a chat, like we'll discuss what the business analyst does every day, what is business analysis and all of that. Yeah. So if you can fill in the form, then we'll send you an invite, then you come. But if you feel like your situation is different and you want to have that chat with us, then yeah, like Nena said, you can always reach out to me.
All right, then. Thank you, Mr. Charles. It was
Thank
lovely
you very
chatting with
much.
you. And if you definitely enjoyed this content, please do not forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, leave a comment, and like this video. And I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.
Bye.